Hearing the Cameron County Court now in session. Now, Joe Jarvis presiding, everybody please remain standing.
Thank you, Constable. Call the meeting to order. Commissioner Shipley, would you introduce our pastor of the day, please, sir?
We're honored to have with us again the Reverend Dr. Terry Kirby, who happens to be a very close friend to Commissioner Carter, and also the author of a recent book entitled The Liberty Keys, God's Instruction for Keeping America Free. Come to the podium and lead us as we pray together, please.
Let's pray. Father, thank you for this beautiful day that you have given us, and as we come to this meeting, Father, to honor the leadership of these public servants, Father, we just pray that you would protect us, lead, guide, direct us, and Father, may we honor you as we gather together in this place. Thank you for the service of the people of this community to this great land, and Father, we're just also grateful that you love us so much that you sent Jesus to die on the cross for our sins. May we honor you today. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Mr. Carter, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please. Signing, please.
There we go, play.
And you're 13 prison.
I'd like to welcome Commissioner David Burke from Homeland Security Lady Brad Jones. Thank you. First on the agenda is the recognition, presentations, and proclamations. Sheriff Jardy, Andy, will you come into the well?
Might be best if we stand
Okay, that's just whatever you want to do.
On behalf of the Hampton County Sheriff's Department, we present this plaque to James. Everybody mostly knows him by Pondy. Gwen, Constable, thank you for your dedication and work ethic. You have made the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department proud. 1972 through 1972 to 2018. So he's been around for a while. And also, this is from Mayor Bill Britton's office, certificate of recognition. Hamilton County government present this certificate of recognition to James Pondy Drennan, Constable for District 9 and 10, and wishes to thank you for your 46 years of dedicated service, commitment, and numerous contributions that made a positive impact on Hamilton County government and the citizens of Hamilton County. Your commitment to excellence has long inspired all of us and will be remembered for years to come. We wish you good health, happiness, and continued success. It's almost like Christmas time today. Okay, this is a state of Tennessee proclamation, whereas it is a privilege to the members of this legislative body to recognize these estimable Tennesseans who have devoted their career to serving their fellow citizens, and whereas one such individual, James Pondy Drennan of Hamilton County, who has served as constable for District 9 and 10 for 46 consecutive years, and recently announced that he will be taking a much-deserved retirement, and whereas born May 25, 1927, Mr. Drennan was elected as constable in 1972 and is currently one of the oldest law enforcement officials in the state of Tennessee. And whereas a leader in his profession, James Drennan served as Vice President of the Tennessee Constable Association from 1993 to 1995, and whereas in his capacity as constable, Mr. Drennan has often been duly honored by the Tennessee Constable Association, receiving the Constable of the Year Award for the Eastern Division in 1996, his Special Achievement Award in 1996 and 97, and Leadership and Commitment Award in 2000, 2001, 2003, and 2004. The Special Dedicated Service Award in 2005 and 2006, and the Special Service Award for Dedication Service to his community in 2010, and the President's Award in 2012 and 2013 recognize him as the top constable in the state. And whereas James Drennan has a long history of serving his fellow citizens, a veteran of World War II, he also served as a part-time deputy in the 1960s and early 1970s. And whereas additionally he worked with American Inca, retiring in 1988 after 30 years of excellent service. And whereas it is most fitting that we acknowledge and applaud Mr. Drennan, who has faithfully served Hamilton County for nearly a half a century, proving himself a public-spirited citizen of the highest order. Now, therefore, I, Beth Harwell, Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 110th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, at the request and in conjunction with Representative Tim Goins, do hereby proclaim that we congratulate James Pondy Drennan upon the occasion of his retirement, extending our wishes for much success, happiness, and all his future endeavors. Proclaim Nashville, Tennessee on this 26th day of July 2018. Congratulations.
I got a picture on of Billy Pat Lampkin and Iron Trent and Wayne Fowler standing on the old jailhouse step. That was 1968. Yeah, that's been a long time ago. But see, Billy Pat, John Brockby, and Billy Pat flew a helicopter, you know, and he was taking the doctor somewhere in the over airport, and off with it, dropped down, and hit the ground, caught a car. Well, Bill got out, and he get the doctor out, he got his leg caught in, and I think he still tried to get him out, and I think it blowed up, and burnt both of them up. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, Pondy. Did you get your picture? You want me to present this to him? You get what pictures you needed?
I need it.
Okay, good. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Okay, next, Mayor Britton, come to the well, please. Commissioner Smith, Mr. Walker, Mr. Davis, Carter, go ahead, Chairman Elder. Come to the well, please. Can you move? Got the file now. Hold.
This is a bittersweet time that for these commissioners, this is their last meeting on the commission. And for those, most of you in this room know that county government is a different beast. That in the way it's structured by the state constitution and by state law. And the key to being an effective county government is working together in cooperation. And that involves both the legislative body, which these guys represent, the executive body, and then the judicial branch. And I'm proud to say that over the last 4 years that all three branches have worked together, and we've gotten several things accomplished for our citizens and for the county. Let me just list a few of them. The commission helped ignite this tremendous economic growth that Hamilton County has had over the last couple of years, and we anticipate it growing for several more years by investing in more community development and for marketing our community for prospective employers, in investing in workforce development programs in partnership with the City of Morristown, the Board of Education, Douglas Cherokee Business and Industry. Also for the county, created an electronic mapping program in a partnership with the city, MUS, and 911. Entered another partnership with Helen Ross McNabb to start a reentry program. We helped lower ISO ratings outside the city by partnering with the volunteer fire department to allow them to buy some more equipment. We stabilized health insurance costs for our county employees by converting to a self-insurance fund, updated our personnel policies, our property maintenance code, established an enforcement program, and the list goes on and on. And this just kind of shows you how effective these guys were. We didn't always agree, but we got things done.
Rarely ever agree.
So we want to take this time just to recognize these guys, and we have their photograph and their nameplate. Then for Rick, who served 2 years as chairman, we have a little something extra with the chairman. Yeah. Let's give these guys a round of applause.
He needs a picture for his garden.
We're going to take a little extra time and honor a couple of commissioners who devoted much of their lives to county commission and county government, and two guys who have been mentors for me during my 24 years in county government. And first is Herbert Harville, who has spent, let's see if I can go down through all this, Herbert. He's 28 years on the county commission. That was after serving, how many years as superintendent of school? 18 years superintendent of school, and then school teacher and coach. Volunteered on several county boards, have been on the planning commission for several years. Volunteered and chaired several boards and community agencies. This gentleman has been a servant to our community for a long time. And we're just very, very proud of Herbert. And we've got a proclamation from Beth Harwell, Speaker of the House, and I won't read it, Herbert, but it'd take about 3 days to read it and all the accomplishments that you've had. But we want to thank you for your service. And then also we've got Herbert, his picture and plaque and gavel, and he served as County Commission Chairman, and he also served as interim county executive before the appointment of David Perkey back in 1995. So Herbert, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
I'd just like to thank the community for putting in all these positions over the years. And I think one of the greatest things that we've done here as our county commission is when we did the garbage. I think that's one of the best things that has come about. And I guess that's all I have. I just thank you.
Chairman, would you join me in the well? Another 28-year veteran. Also served on many, many boards, EMA, 911, solid waste, and everything else there is. I learned a lot from this man. I appreciate it very much. He was inspiration. He's one of the main reasons I was chosen to fill a term. And I want to let him know that he's a dear, dear, dear friend of mine. And do anything I can to help you. I've learned a lot from you. You've led this court for 16 years as chairman. I think that's the longest serving in the state. But it has been my honor and actually and a pleasure also to get to know you and to serve with you. You're welcome, sir. And then, now this is your picture and your gavel with your terms and everything. And once again, another proclamation. I'll just go ahead and read it, since we'll be here till next Wednesday. But thank you so much for your service, sir.
Thank you.
I would just like to take this opportunity to say, first of all, thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Mayor, and your staff for this presentation. It means a lot. And I just want to say that I feel honored tonight to have the opportunity to have served 28 years on the County Commission, 8 years in the House of Representatives. I just want to say that what I want most of all is to see this county continue to move forward. I want us to, we have come a long ways. If we go back to the days when I was elected and where we are today, we've accomplished an awful lot in this county. And I just want to be sure that we continue to move forward. And I want to wish the new members that's coming aboard on September the 1st, I want to wish them the very best. And if there's any way possible that I can help them in any way, I'd be glad to do so. As I think back on or maybe a couple of major accomplishments during my term, I'll go back first to, I look back here and I see Jimmy Peoples. I think of 911. I was chair of the court when 911, enhanced 911 came available. Before that, we had 2 dispatch systems in Hamilton County. We had one for the city, one for the county. There was 4 dispatchers at the city, and there was 4 in the county. And that handled the dispatching of all emergency services. But we combined it into 911, and that was a major accomplishment. The big headache was most of the roads in the county were not numbered or not named. We had to name all the roads and also give them numbers to be put in the computer, so when they had an emergency, they know right where to go. But that went well, and it's known today as one of the best systems in the state of Tennessee. And a lot of thanks goes to the man standing right back there behind me, Jimmy Pickles. As soon as I went on the board, we elected him as director of 911, and he did an outstanding job all the way. I guess one other thing is kind of major. In this county, we had no zoning whatsoever. In other words, someone could have a junkyard built next to a subdivision or whatever. We had none, no zoning. In 1990, again, I was chair at that time, we implemented countywide zoning. And this body, I voted on that, we got it passed, and today, there's a lot of property out in the county that's protected because of the zone. But that's 2 major accomplishments. I could stand here another 30 minutes, but I'm not going to. We got to get on with this. But just let me say this in closing. On September the 1st, when the new guard comes aboard, the sun will come up in the east, and it will set in the west, and everything will move right on forward, and everything will be fine. But it's been an honor and privilege to have served this 28 years on the commission and 8 years in Nashville. And thank you again, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mayor, thank you. Sheriff, thank you.
Next order of business is public comment regarding business of the agenda only. Does anyone wish to address the commission? This is agenda only.
My name is Gwen Holden. I live at 2343 Sulphur Springs Road, and all the junkyards are out of my community thanks to zoning. Okay, at your committee meeting on August the 13th, you talked about the opioid lawsuit and your vote a year ago to enter into a contract withJessee's law firm to sue the drug manufacturers on behalf of Hamilton County. That was the contract that Mr. Britton never signed or did anything until I asked about it last month at the committee meeting. You were there, you know, Mr. Jarvis.
Yes, I do know.
Okay, after I talked about the contract that had been approved by commission but never signed, Mr. Britton called for an executive session that would be closed to the public.
In our last committee meeting, you said that you talked with District Attorney General Dan Armstrong in that executive session about the opioid lawsuit. I thought executive sessions were closed meetings just between the attorney and the client. Who invited Mr. Armstrong? Who else was there? I think you and your attorney have violated the Open Meetings Act by using an executive session to meet with Mr. Armstrong and others instead of just to have a true attorney-client meeting. That's my opinion. You need to stop and have Mr. Armstrong attend a public meeting of commission in September to discuss his opioid lawsuit instead of meeting with him in a closed executive session. Mr. Tom Jessee attended public meetings of the commission to discuss his lawsuit against the drug makers. And I think Mr. Armstrong and all the others need to do the same thing to correct the open meetings violation and to be open and honest with the public who vote you all in.
Anyone else? Is there anyone else? We have no nominations. I'm going to recess now. The legislative body for open public hearing is for zoning. Is there anyone that wish to address that zoning issue? It's a zoning, to amend the zoning map of Hamilton County, rezoning tax map 017, parcel 040.00, District 3, 3677, Lyman Road, Morristown, Tennessee, 37814, from R1 to R2. Is there any comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll close this this part of the public hearing. Next up is the resolution to amend the zoning map as stated, and I'd ask for a motion to rezone as stipulated on number 5.
I move that we do so, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
That's your district, isn't it, Mr. Shipley? Is that in your district?
Yes, yes.
You haven't had any opposition? have you?
No opposition at all.
We have a motion. We have a motion. We have a second. You got it coming up now. We have a motion, we have a second. Okay, is there any other discussions? Okay, let's vote, please.
Item 5A, 13 yea, 1 nay.
That motion carries. Next is Calvin Rules, Chairman Harville.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to make a motion that we approve the consent calendar items.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? Let's vote, please.
Item 6A, 13 yea, 0 nay.
The motion carries. Chairman
Next item, we need to add to the regular calendar, we need to add the approval of authorizing resolution for the tax grant. Put that in form of a motion.
It'll be under 8G.
Right.
Yes, sir.
This off from order.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Do the roll call, please.
Larry Carter,
Yes.
Hubert Davis,
Yes.
Randy DeFord,
Yes.
Rick Eldridge,
Yes.
Stansel Ford,
Aye.
Tim Goins,
Aye.
Herbert Harville,
Aye.
Joe Huntsman,
Aye.
Joe Jarvis,
Yes.
Howard Schiflin,
Yes.
John Smith,
Yes.
Johnny Walker,
Yes.
Taylor Ward.
Yes.
13 yeas, 0 nays.
We now make a motion of approval of all the regular calendar items.
Motion. Second motion.
For the motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? We'll vote this on the board. Just vote, please.
Item 6B, 13 yeas, 0 nays.
All I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir, for your report. The motion carries. We have a motion for the approval of the consent calendar. So moved, Mr. Chairman. Motion from Mr. Eldridge. We have a second, Mr. Carter. Any discussions? Let's vote, please.
Item 7A, 13 yeas, 0 nays.
The motion carries. Next up, Finance Committee, Chairman of the Board.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item A is approval of the monthly checks, and I'll make that in the form of a motion.
For the motion, and we have a second. Is there any discussion? Let's vote, please.
Item 8A, 13 yeas, 0 nays.
The motion carries. Chairman of the Board.
Item B is resolution authorizing the grant application for TDEC recycling and convenience center grants. I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Call this vote, please.
Item 8B, 13 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion carries. Chairman of the Board.
Item 8C is county clerk satellite office property lease agreement. I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? Let's vote, please.
Item 8C, 12 yeas, 1 nay.
Motion carries. Chairman of the Board.
Item 8D is UniFirst Corporation uniform contract, and I put that in the form of a motion.
You have a motion, you have a second, is there any discussion? Give us vote, please.
Item 8D, 13 yeas, 0 nays.
Chairman of the Board.
Item 8E, bid award for public official bond. Put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Let's vote, please.
Item 8E, 13 yeas, 0 nays.
Chairman of the Board.
Item 8F, budget amendments. Item 1 is Fund 101, Health Department for $1,000, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Let's vote that, please.
Item 8F1, 13 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion carries. Chairman of the Board.
Item 8, F number 2, Fund 101, Trustee's Office, $3,600, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Let's vote, please.
Item 8F2, 13 yeas, 0 nays.
The motion carries.
Item 8F3, Fund 101, work release, public safety, $1,111, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? So let's vote, please.
Item 8F3, 13 yeas, 0 nays.
Chairman Ward.
Item 8G, approval of authorization resolution for JAG grant, and I put that in the form of a motion.
This is off the board now. We have a motion, we have a second. John Smith with a second. Can you call the roll, please?
Larry Carter,
Yes.
Hubert Davis,
Yes.
Randy DeVore,
Yes.
Rick Eldridge,
Yes.
Stansel Ford,
Aye.
Tim Goins,
Aye.
Herbert Harville, Joe Huntsman,
Yes.
Joe Jarvis,
Yes.
Howard Shipley,
Yes.
John Smith,
Yes.
Johnny Walker,
Yes.
Taylor Ward.
Yes.
13 yeas, 0 nays.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your report. Next is public service. Chairman Davis.
On the motion that I have is to rescind our action from June 2017 authorizing Jessee and Jessee to represent Hamilton County in an opioid lawsuit, and that this time allow the county mayor and the county attorney to monitor the case and report back to the commission as necessary. I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Do we have any discussion?
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask Mr. Jessee, if you would please, sir, come to the podium. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Yes,
How are you today?
I'm good. As Mr. Ford said, the sun comes up in the morning, goes down in the afternoon.
Okay. Could you tell me the first time that you ever approached our body in the day?
First time I appeared to talk to anybody in Hamilton County was I appeared last year with Mr. Britton and Mr. Capps in Mr. Britton's office, my wife and I. And then we were invited to a committee meeting that ultimately led to a meeting here. I don't remember the exact days, I forgot it.
It's been a while back.
Yes, it was last year.
June of 2017.
Yeah, it was before you voted to approve our contract.
That was unanimous, both of us.
It was. Yeah.
But, we had another meeting with our attorney where there was an issue with conflict of interest with a, individual that your firm was representing against the sheriff's department, Hamilton County Sheriff's Department. And, that was brought to our attention. And, after that meeting, we came to the fact where we wanted to go with your firm to represent us in an opioid suit.
Yes, sir.
And the issue of one of my questions would be to you, did you disclose the information to the county attorney and the mayor that you were representing a client against the sheriff's department before you ever came to us?
The very first meeting I had with them, I said I have one case left with Hamilton County, which is a jail case. I shook hands with the sheriff at the committee meeting after that. And he knew I was in the case. I told them both, and I said, "You want me out right now?" And they said they would look at it and get back to me. I, in fact, went to mediation with Mr. Capps there. And then 3 weeks after mediation, he called and said, "We want you out now." And he's commented that his mind was I didn't get out fast enough, but the whole problem was I couldn't just abandon this man to not have an attorney. And we got to take care of him and got rid of him.
Well, now, what do you mean when you said he wants you out? What do you mean by that?
He wanted me to withdraw from the other man's case, and I said, I told you the very first day I would. I just have to get out. I can't just call up and quit without adequately protecting my client, which I did. And the case actually was settled by your insurance company and ended. We've had this complaint for you all, for the opioid cases, since, August, September. I've come to another meeting here that they wanted to know the status of where the lawsuit was for the other counties in Tennessee and all that, reported to that. Send Mr. Capps reports. We have got a stack of questions that the judge at the federal level that has the management of this case is expecting each county to file with the court by the end of September. We've got those prepared for the other counties we represent, or preparing them. Some are done, some aren't. We've waited on yours because we have not filed a complaint. And I've never begged for work, don't advertise, don't want to represent somebody if they don't want me to represent them. I have had a very nice conversation with Attorney General Armstrong in Greene County the last time. I wasn't at this closed meeting. Something was said that he didn't say anything about there is no conflict between our lawsuit and his, and one of the commissioners said something about lottery tickets. It's recorded. Some of y'all have called and asked for it, and I've sent you a copy of the recording.
We were actually told, sir, that you did not disclose that information.
Well, that is, you can look at the letters. I've got letters talking about the conflict. Mr. Capps, if he didn't, he said that, he said that. I've got letters. And I was surprised.
He did tell us that you didn't disclose that information.
Well, I disclosed it the very first day. The very first day I ever met him.
Okay.
And
thank you. How long have you been practicing law?
42 years.
42 years.
And one of the things I would encourage you all, you have a lawsuit with Mr. Armstrong. It does not include the causes of action that are in the national case. There is no case pending now for Hamlin County in the national case, because I have not gotten authorization. Mr. Britton had to authorize us to file it. That's why we don't file it until we get authorization. But I would encourage you to look at that, because there are statute of limitation issues that are already been raised in this case. You understand that next August there's already 5 cases set for trial. Opioid cases that the judge in the federal court is getting ready. I've been coming to Hamlin County since I've been about that tall. Red Jessee was my uncle. Dick's my first cousin. He's the rich, good-looking one of the family. I was pleased to be able to represent you all. If Mr. Capps misunderstood me, then I'll apologize, but he was at the mediation with me, and he knew I had that one conflict. I've got 7 cases laying on my desk right now that I have told him in a letter I will not file against Hamlin County if I'm going to represent you. But I got a contract with you all that I keep sending a letter saying, do you want me to file the lawsuit or not? So if you would rather get somebody else, there is no hard feelings. We either need to send a letter to each other and say, I'm no longer obligated on my contract, so I can go on and do my job, or let us go ahead and get it filed.
My place with this is, you came to us over a year ago. You got a unanimous vote for us to take him on and to retain him as there's no contract last time, so we took a vote. The commission did to retain you as our attorney. We've had not 1, 2, but 3 meetings. The last meeting that we had, the district attorney was there, and 2 other
I wasn't invited.
attorneys, and you weren't there. And for my part, I don't think that's fair. You should be allowed to at least state your case again. And if the district attorney's idea is such a good idea, why didn't you bring it to us over a year ago? Why does it take a year?
What Mr. Armstrong and his clients want to do is his business. I appeared in their case in Sullivan County. They've changed their complaint a number of times. As I've explained, Greene County was nice enough to have a meeting and have Mr. Armstrong there with me. We have a federal RICO action in our complaint. They can't bring that in state court. I suggested that I didn't think that everybody in these cases have good intentions. They want to fix this mess. If you got up and read the paper today, the death rate went up. As the federal judge says, when the defendant said, "Why are we in such a hurry?" the federal judge said there's 150 people dying every day. That's enough of a hurry. So everybody has good intentions. Everybody has different opinions. In particular, I raised the issue of being concerned about the Attorney General's because there's not ever been a lawsuit brought like that. So did the State Attorney General. He intervened in that case and said, "I don't think they can do it," and they reached an agreement as to who's going to do what, and the State Attorney General went out and filed his own case in Knox County. So, you're not a part of the Knox County case. I don't know how you're a part of the DA's cases because I told you I was worried about the fact they didn't come ask you if you want to be in it. They filed it and told you you were in it. And I just respectfully don't think the law of Tennessee Constitution allows it. I hope it does, because as Mr. Armstrong said with me sitting there, and I've got to report it, it's like having 2 lottery tickets. But I do know that you cannot participate in the federal case if you don't have a complaint. It is not a class action. And that's where it becomes confusing. In the tobacco cases, it was a class action, so that they could settle and divide the pie among each state's attorney general. These are individual lawsuits. I don't think Mr.
We know that.
I don't think Mr. Armstrong.
Hang on. We know the case, we know your position, we know everybody else's position. We can sit here and talk about this till too long. Johnny, is there, you said you had a question. Is there another question?
I just want to tell him that when we took a vote, for my part, when I make up my mind, I don't want to, I think that you haven't done anything wrong that I said.
We're getting ready to vote on that. You can vote your, whatever you want to vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any more discussion? Okay, let's vote, please.
Item 9A, 8 yea, 5 nay.
Motion carries.
That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Next up, Building and Grounds, Chairman Eldridge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have before you a memorandum of understanding between Hamlin County government and the Colonel Robert McFarland chapter of the Sons of the Revolution. This is dealing with flagpoling on the courthouse lawn, and I will put that in the form of a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second the motion.
We have a motion. Chairman Ford seconded that motion. Then she's going to call the roll, please.
Larry Carter,
Yes.
Hubert Davis,
Yes.
Randy DeBoer,
Yes.
Rick Eldridge,
Yes.
Stansel Ford,
Aye.
Tim Goins,
Aye.
Herbert Harville,
Aye.
Joe Huntsman,
Yes.
Dale Jarvis,
Yes.
Howard Shipley,
Yes.
John Smith,
Yes.
Johnny Walker,
Yes.
Taylor Ward.
Yeah.
It's 13 yeas, 0 nay.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, sir. The motion carries. Next is public comment. Would anyone like to address the commission? Seeing none, our announcements. September committee meetings, September the 10th, 11:30 at the Health Department. County Commission meeting, September the 20th, here in the main courtroom at 5 o'clock. And if nobody has anything else, we are adjourned. We're having a reception afterwards. I need everybody to clean out the whaler and just set this up, please. Get that done very quickly.
Okay. Working. Work after work.
Yeah, we just, if you guys find some room out there, and we'll just clean it up. Clean it out, we'll clean it out. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.